The Royal Rumble is this Saturday, and you've got your predictions, and I've got mine. So come on in and let's talk about them. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Seth Grimes, back here with another piece of content for that ass, that sweet ass of yours. This time we are going to be doing Royal Rumble predictions 2025. I am excited. I'm always excited for the Royal Rumble. One of my favorite times in wrestling every single year. Hopefully this year the Royal Rumble does not disappoint. Some years do, some years don't. But this year is lining up to be a big one. Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, John Cena, Seth Rollins. All of them are going to be in this year's Rumble. Sami Zayn. They have all declared and they all have intentions to win. And there are a couple title matches to go along with that. And then, of course, the Women's Rumble, which is highly predictable, in my opinion. But we'll see. Let's talk about it. First, let's go ahead and get into our first prediction here. But before we do, if I could bug you to please hit that subscribe button down below. It would help a brother out. And now let's go ahead and get into the predictions. Starting off with the Women's Royal Rumble, because for God's sakes, let's not have the Women's Royal Rumble main event. Not that the Women's Royal Rumble can't be a main event. It has in the past. Not this year, because in my opinion, this is a one-woman show, and that is the return of Charlotte Flair. It's written all over the wall, and you could try to pull a swerve, bro, if you want to do a swerve, bro, and do the swerve finish, but booking under Triple H has traditionally not been a swerve, bro. He's very predictable, because he's more about telling the story that makes the most sense, rather than just, everybody on the internet thinks Charlotte Flair's going to win, so we're going to have fucking Naomi win the Royal Rumble. So far, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Nia Jax, and Charlotte Flair are the only ones to confirm. I'm not a fan of announcing Charlotte Flair ahead of time. I mean, I guess that builds hype for the Rumble. People are excited to see the Queen come back. Some people anyway, other people not so much. But I like the Royal Rumble for surprises, and I do think we'll get surprises in the Royal Rumble this year. But Triple H hasn't been huge on the surprise entrance, not as much as like Vince was even. And that surprises me, because he's always got his ear to the street, and he seems to have his finger on the pulse of what people want. And for the Royal Rumble, people want surprises. They want a good pop or two to go, holy shit, I didn't know that person was going to be in the Rumble. But this one just makes sense for Charlotte Flair. She's on her way back. Rumors are already that it's looking like her and Tiffany Stratton are going to do the damn at WrestleMania for the title. And, Charlotte usually always wins anyway. Charlotte wins, LOL. I expect nothing less. As far as any surprises in the Women's Royal Rumble match, that's hard to tell. I was hoping for an Alexa Bliss return, but it sounds like there was some sort of contractual issue there, where Alexa Bliss is no longer returning and there are no longer plans for her. Maybe they just threw that out there to misdirect people or something, hopefully, or maybe they can come to terms at the last minute, but I don't think she'll be there. Probably would expect to see some divas from the lingerie, the bra and panties eras past. Wouldn't be surprised if Michelle McCool gets a nice little run in the Rumble and eliminates a few people, because that's what they like to do with her. And, nepotism gets you a long way in the WWE. Either be the son or daughter of somebody, or, just fuck them and marry them, and you get the push. Get that push ski, brother. But I don't expect a lot out of the Women's Rumble. That's my prediction. Charlotte Flair, a few divas from the past, and a Michelle McCool run. What are your thoughts in the Women's Royal Rumble? Let's go ahead and move on to our next prediction. DIY defends the WWE Tag Team Championships against the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls match. You know what this tells me, 2 out of 3 falls? They don't do that a lot in WWE. It requires a long attention span, and it doesn't always make for great TV. But with these two teams, this tells me that they're going to let these two teams just cook. They're just going to let them out there and just do your thing. Show everybody what you're capable of. This will be a showcase match for these two teams. I can't tell you I'm super excited about it. I'm not a fan of DIY, to be honest with you. I liked them a little bit in NXT. I don't like them as much on SmackDown. I don't like them as baby faces either. You know, I prefer them more when they're acting like heel. Tommaso Ciampa had a great heel run in NXT. I loved his run there as the Sicilian psychopath, as Corey Graves would call him. Motor City Machine Guns don't really light my fire either. I was never a fan of them in TNA. I've always thought they were overrated. They do cool moves in the ring. You know, they great little flip flop and fly, fast bing bang boom kind of guys. This will probably be an entertaining match to watch, but I'm not emotionally invested in any of this. I don't care. I would love to see Triple H build up the tag team division, though, and create a tag team division for when Rey Fenix comes into WWE and can team with Penta. If they're able to pull teams back from WWE or from AEW like FTR, and if they're able to go out and get like the Acclaimed, and I don't know why they even split the Acclaimed up. It's so fucking stupid. But right now WWE doesn't have that great of a tag division, especially to have 2 sets of tag titles. For this one, 2 out of 3 falls. I expect probably the Motor City Machine Guns to come out of it again as the winners because they're newer and they need that push. If they're going to be taken seriously and they're going to be liked and sell t-shirts and stuff, people are going to get excited to see them. They're going to need to get a little bit of a push. And they had one to start, but it was immediately cut off by DIY. Probably just to build an interesting little feud and build up DIY as a credible, rival for this team. But Motor City Machine Guns will take the win, and I might just get a snack during this one. I hope they do other matches on this card besides just these two and then the Royal Rumbles. Unless they're going long. 2 out of 3 falls, it's going to go long, but give me something else at least. Let's move on to our next match. Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship, the Undisputed. Can't quite call it that right now, though, can you? Because it is quite disputed. Because in my opinion, Kevin Owens with the Winged Eagle Championship is my real champion in my heart of hearts. He's out there representing me and my interests, and that's that belt gets to be on TV longer. Though they have not done that championship belt justice here. Great use of it, by the way. It was supposed to be just a one-night thing, we're bringing back the Winged Eagle for the retro show. I love that Kevin Owens just kind of stole it and took it as his own and as the, his own undisputed champion because he felt like he had a claim that he beat Cody Rhodes. So I like that. It's an extended use. It's more than we expected to get. Anytime you can bring that and use it in a storyline, think about that. They came up with a creative way to use the internet's favorite championship belt into an extended little storyline here. So that was fantastic use of it. Though it clearly looks like a WWEshop.com replica, and not the expensive one either, the cheaper one. You see it in the back there. I got it right over my shoulder. That is probably the exact same belt that Kevin Owens is wearing right now. It might even look shinier than his. His is kind of dull even. Like up against the Cody's belt, it's embarrassing. They should have created maybe a new one that just looked clean and shiny and fancy. Probably an expense that they didn't need to go through, but I digress. It's a lot of talk about the belt itself, but that's half the hype for this match. That's why there's 2 belts up on the ladder again. I expect to see Cody win this. Cody's going to go to WrestleMania and defend the title. I have my predictions for that, but we'll save that for the Royal Rumble talk itself, the Men's Rumble here. I expect Cody to go over Owens, though this is going to be a banger of a match, and I am slightly worried about injuries coming out of this. Especially, Kevin Owens likes to do a lot of crazy moves on ladders. If you ever watched a Kevin Owens ladder match, they're fucking brutal is what they are. They're fucking brutal. So I hope Cody survives it and can make it to WrestleMania. I always get nervous this time of year. Punk last year got hurt in the Rumble. You don't want to see anybody get hurt on the road to WrestleMania because you want to see them start kind of playing into these WrestleMania storylines and stuff. This should be a hell of a match. This really should be a hell of a match, I expect anyway. But I expect Cody to go over. And then I guess the Winged Eagle goes away. I don't know, but we should be appreciative that we got it at least for this moment here and probably helped them sell a couple extra replicas on shop.com, so good for them. Good for them. Mine back there, ring used, by the way, not by WWE, but it was the indie title for my short-lived indie promotion because all good, shitty, independent promotions need a WWE shop replica belt with a sticker slapped over. Belts be costing, bro. Can't just be dropping like $1,000, $2,000 on a real championship belt. What the fuck? That's a big investment on just a strap. And then you got to get a mid-card belt and a tag team belt. And if you want to have a women's division, it's a lot of belts. It's a lot of belts. Moving on to the Men's Royal Rumble, the star of the show. This is what we're all here to see. So far declared for the Royal Rumble match, only a handful of names. John Cena has thrown his name in the hat here, into the bucket. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Okay. A lot of big-time WrestleMania main event talent and Shinsuke Nakamura. That's not fair. I love Shinsuke. They just haven't, used him to the best of their abilities. But this is a star-studded lineup so far. I like that there's a lot of mystery in both Rumbles. Not a lot of names declared. But as I said for the Women's Rumble, Triple H tends to not do a lot of super surprise entrants, maybe we'll get 1 or 2. If it was me, I would have at least 5 people that aren't even on the roster. I don't think you want to go more than 5 because then you're taking spots away from people that have worked hard to earn that spot. But I do think a Rumble gets boring when every single person that comes out is somebody that's already just a current roster member, and it's like, they weren't declared for the Rumble, but is Johnny Gargano going to win if he comes out at number 26? No. So what's the point? This one, I would like to see more surprise entrants. That's what I like to see. I want to see some big surprise. I don't even have a fucking clue. I wouldn't even know where to start. Where I actually do? I do know where I'd start is X-Pac. X-Pac has been asking for a Royal Rumble spot for many years now, a few years. And he's running out of years. Even though he's young and he's in great shape, he's still running out of years to be able to do this. And I don't know why his buddy Triple H won't book him in a fucking Rumble. It's not like he's got to go over and win the shit. And you got to have a couple of these surprise spots. I feel like this would be a great year for X-Pac. Especially, did you hear that pop that he got on, was it Monday Night Raw? Was he sitting in the front row or whatever? Or for the debut of Raw on Netflix? Got a huge pop. People love X-Pac. And he's a sweetheart of a guy. I love X-Pac. I met him. He's a wonderful human being as well. Just a peach. Just a fucking gem of a guy. So I hope he gets this spot. I would also like to see, I think we're clearly going back to the Women's Rumble. I did forget Jordynne Grace, obviously. We're going to get that TNA integration. I would like to see, I think most people expect Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace, respectively, for each Rumble. Though Jordan Grace, I mean, you know, we have seen less buff women enter the Women's Royal Rumble, or the Men's Royal Rumble. Who had China did? Who else was in was Nia Jax in a Men's Royal Rumble? And did Mommy was Rhea Ripley in a Men's Rumble? And then I believe Beth Phoenix was in a Men's Rumble as well. So it's happened, but I don't expect that. But what about the Hardys? Can you imagine if fucking Jeff Hardy comes out and he's fucking he's running around the ring and he's giving everybody the fives and he's got his face all painted up with his eyes closed, looking like a creepy weirdo. I would love to see that. I think that would get a hell of a pop. Both Hardy boys, bring them both. But I mean, Jeff, I think specifically, Matt will get the Matt. We like Matt. We respect Matt. We appreciate Matt. But Jeff's gonna get the Jeff Hardy in WWE. Oh my God, you know it'll hit different. So that I want to see Jeff. Anybody else from TNA? You know, like a PCO would have been fun. I don't expect to see like a Tessa Blanchard. I think WWE is going to keep as far away from her as possible, at least for now. I think that's it. I can't call it for Men's Rumble. I want to see an X-Pac. I want to see Jeff Hardy. Not even that I'm a hugest fan of Jeff Hardy. I just think with the TNA relationship, it makes a lot of sense that that's a good possibility, and it would get a good reaction. Couple other, you know, any Attitude Era guy, you know, if Kane came out and chokeslammed a few motherfuckers, that would be fine. Surprise me with something fun. Give me something entertaining. Give me something, wow, I didn't expect to see that guy back in WWE. And I'm not talking like, you know, when CM Punk was gone, he makes it. So, I mean, like, you know, not that big of a, oh my God, but just give me something spicy I can chew on and come out of the Royal Rumble talking about. As far as the winner, let's wrap this up here. God, you know, it's hard to call him. Roman Reigns, you think, is an obvious, like, top choice, especially since he's called his shot. He wants his shot back at Cody, and it does not appear that Rock is going to be facing Roman or Cody, so that does leave Roman open, though I would expect Roman to go maybe towards Fatu instead. So for now, I'm going to say not Roman. I think we're looking at either CM Punk or John Cena. In fact, I think we're looking at CM Punk and John Cena as the two challengers for the world titles in the WWE titles at WrestleMania. Which one of them wins the Rumble? I don't know. If I had to call it, I would say John Cena is the way to go. That's the feel-good story. And I want to see it. I know he's got a lot of haters and detractors. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's taking spots away from everybody else and he's done it all and Ric Flair can't lose his rep. Blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. John Cena has earned this more than anybody. More than anybody. Nobody has been a more loyal soldier ever in the history of WWE than John Cena. Even every top star you can think of would give the company shit and push back, and they'd have a falling out and a beef. And that doesn't work for me, brother, and I'm losing my smile, and I'm taking my beer and going home, and all that shit. But, you know, Rock going to Hollywood. Everybody leaves WWE and has a falling out with them at some point. But you know who didn't? John Cena. John Cena is the most loyal soldier. Not only that, all his stuff with kids and all the never turned heel. He fought through the booze and everything to the point where the fans started to respect him again. He earned every bit of the cheers that comes out after him. Plus, I'm watching Peacemaker right now. I know it's been out for a while. I'm slow to it, but this is a fantastic show. What a great show. John Cena, I just want to see this. This is my feel-good story. And I was the guy that back in the ECW, WWE ECW era where like he did the one night stand against RVD and they were throwing his shirt at him after they wiped their ass with it and stuff. I was one of those guys, not in the crowd, but metaphorically watching home from the TV. I was like, boo, Cena, fuck that guy. But here we stand. I want to see this story. I want to see him win the Rumble. I want to see him challenge Cody Rhodes. That's the match I want to see. Not Gunther, not fucking anybody else. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Babyface versus babyface. Era versus era. Generation versus generation. Whatever you want to call it. And I want to see Cena win that world title. I don't know that he would beat Cody. But for one night only, I'd like to see him win the title. Then what would be fun is like the very next night on Raw, he loses it. Because we don't need to see John Cena have a title reign. We just need to see him win that trophy. The 17th time world champion. Hold that record. Have that record forever and a day. Unless Ric Flair can convince some indie bum to give him their world title. And then... he could call himself a 17. It's all wonky with Ric Flair's numbers anyway. There was a few title changes that they didn't even keep records of because Flair was just scared for his life. If he would have won the match, the crowd would have murdered him on sight and hung him up on a stake outside the building. So he opted to drop the belt and then just pretend it didn't happen and get the belt mailed back to him and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a little flaky to begin with, but... give me John Cena. But, a good backup would be my boy CM Punk. CM Jesus Christ Punk is my Lord and Savior, and he needs that WrestleMania main event. He's got to scratch that off his list, and he's goddamn earned it. This year, last year, even when he was hurt, since he's come back to WWE, and even those who followed him in AEW, he did all of AEW's best houses. He did all of AEW's best pay-per-view numbers. He had AEW's best storylines and feuds in its history. He left such an impression that they were still telling CM Punk storylines months and months after he left. So now he's over in WWE and he's just done fantastic work. He's earned it. This isn't let's give the old man who never had the fucking main event. Like, when you think about possible main eventers, who are your MVPs of this year, of the last year since WrestleMania? CM Punk is on that upper echelon. He's in that top list of names. He's earned it. He's fucking earned it. He's delivered the best storylines. He's had banger after banger after banger match. He doesn't wrestle a lot, but when he does, he delivers. But it's got to be my boy John Cena. I'll go ahead and wrap it up there for you folks, though. I appreciate you hanging out, watching my predictions here. I'd love to know your predictions down in those comments below. And I will most likely do a Royal Rumble wrap-up, some sort of after the Royal Rumble thing, maybe that night, maybe the next day or whatever, but we'll get that up to you real soon. Appreciate you watching, hanging out. Let me know your picks in the comments below. Peace, love, and pizza. Did I just do that? Did I just really do that? Peace, love, and pizza. Jesus fucking